unless you've been living under a heterosexual rock lately, you are probably aware that there was a little heat generated in our community this week over Pride and what Pride means and the best way to celebrate and rally our community today. And the thing is that that's okay. We're allowed to disagree sometimes, that's natural. And in fact, I actually think it's exciting that we still care so much about Pride and what it is, that we will disagree so passionately about it. Our community is a diverse community. I mean, look around you. We don't all look the same, we don't all sound the same, we don't all dress the same. Indeed, we don't all love the same. And of course, that will mean that sometimes we will disagree. But it is also that incredible, diverse, and vibrant diversity that is our greatest strength. Because together, we really can move mountains. It's incredible how far we've come since the very first Pride events finished with a picnic in this very park as far back as 1980. And you know, this week we also saw the very best of our community because, I'm about to get tripped up here, the very best of our community because we also came together after that disagreement and recognizing that we all want the same thing, a fun and meaningful Pride, we put aside our differences and worked it all out. So let's not divide ourselves because there are enough people in the Iona Institute trying to do that for us. You know, every time around this time of year, you will hear some people in our own community, complaining about today. They don't like the drag queens. They're embarrassed by the gays in leather pants. They disapprove of the lesbians with the glitter on their magnificent boobs. But don't you listen to them. No! We haven't come this far just to divide ourselves into acceptable and unacceptable. There is no such thing as acceptable lesbians and unacceptable lesbians. There is no such thing as acceptable gays and unacceptable gays. There's no such thing as acceptable bisexuals nor unacceptable trans people. We are a lot more than acceptable. We are glorious. So I want to especially say to all the young people that I can see here up the front, that however you choose to express yourself, however you choose to express your unique and beautiful self, I'm thrilled for you. Go for it. And we couldn't be more delighted than to have you as part of our community. Especially because I know it's not always easy to get here, to get to the point where you are comfortable enough, happy enough, and proud enough in who you are to be here today. It's not an easy journey, but you are here today, and I am so happy for you. I'm proud of you for being here today. Because as far as I'm concerned, being LGBT is not a burden or a limitation. It is a gift. And sometimes on a day like today, like a really wonderful day like today, I just feel incredibly lucky to be gay. What did I do to deserve this? So today I definitely feel very, very lucky. So before I finish, I just want to ask you one thing. I think perhaps on a really fantastic, wonderful, exciting day like today, it's important that we remember our heterosexual brothers and sisters. Because it must be so awful for them. Now, earlier on in this week, the small heat was about who would speak today, how many people would speak today, what groups would talk to you today. And thankfully, everybody came together and they worked that out. So right now we're going to hear briefly from a number of the groups who have worked so hard to get us to the point that we are at today and are continuing to work so hard to push us over the finish line of equality. So, please welcome Marriage Equality, LGBT Noise, the incredible BeLonG To, and the Trans Equality Network, TENI. You're all going to take a moment of your time, and first up I think we're going to have Meninia from Marriage Equality. Please give up for Meninia!
Happy Pride, everyone. My name is Meninia. I'm Director of Marriage Equality. Does my bum not begin this? I have 2 minutes. I just want to tell you that in April this year, 79% of people at the Constitutional Convention voted to recommend to government that they introduce civil marriage for same-sex couples in the Constitution. Will officially go to government this week. The countdown to marriage equality begins today. So we need you to do 3 things over the next 4 months. They have 4 months to decide what to do with that recommendation. So to make sure that they listen to that recommendation and implement it as soon as possible and call a referendum next year, we need you to, 1, talk to your TDs and senators over the next 4 months and tell them we want a referendum set for marriage equality next year. 2, raise funds for marriage equality so we can get this campaign across the line. The people who do not want same-sex marriage have got lots and lots of money. We don't. So we need to band together to get this across the line. The 3rd thing is, we need you to talk to friends and family about this issue. We need you to get them up to speed, up to date with it, so that they know why this referendum is important. Those conversations that happen around the dinner table in front of the telly with friends and families are the ones that are going to change hearts and minds. If you do all 3 or even 1 of those things, you'll have played your part in history and you'll make marriage equality a reality. Thank you. Happy Pride, everybody! My name is and I'm the organiser at LGBT Noise. As you might know, Noise is a grassroots activist organisation campaigning for LGBT rights in a number of areas. One of those areas is, of course, marriage equality. This year's March for Marriage takes place on Sunday the 18th of August, assembling at City Hall at 3 p.m. It's hugely important we see a strong turnout this year, so please, bring your family, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbours, and of course yourselves along on the day. This is a critical stage in the campaign for marriage equality. We cannot afford to be complacent. So let's stand together as a community. Let's be united in our fight for equality. And let's march as one on the August the 18th and send a clear message to government that the time for equality is now. One of the LGBT Noise organisers.
Let me hear you make some noise! Happy Pride, everybody! When we stand together like this, nothing can stop us. Marriage equality is going to happen next year because of the efforts of everybody on this stage and everybody out there, and because it needs to happen. But always remember that while it is a huge prize, it's not the only goal. We also have to get gender recognition for our trans friends. We also have to remember that bullying in schools is something that isn't going to go away because we can marry. Stand together, come and march with us for the March for Marriage, and fight the fight. Thank you. Hello, happy Pride, everybody. It's a really important year for BeLonG To because we're 10 years old this year. So I want to say a big shout out to all of the LGBT young people in youth groups around Ireland. There's many of them here today. I want to thank our supporters in Microsoft for coming out in brilliant numbers and making our Pride breakfast a really special occasion. BeLonG To would be nothing without the young people who get involved in BeLonG To and change the world around them. I want to introduce you to an incredible young person, Fionn Scott. Good afternoon, Dublin. Happy Pride.
So, as David said, my name is Fionn Scott. When I'm out of the wings, stand next to the heels. And I could list off hundreds of issues for LGBT young people in Ireland at the moment. But I want to say something slightly more personal to me. I've come through BeLonG To's youth service for the past 3 years. Through them, I've become a youth facilitator. I faced many issues as the LGBT young person, and BeLonG To helped me through every single one of them. I'm but one of thousands of LGBTQ young people out there. And if one more person is helped by BeLonG To, then that is a success. So let us support BeLonG To and make sure that they make a difference now and in the future.
Hi everybody, I'm Sara Phillips from Transgender Equality Network Ireland. Happy Pride! I stand here today asking you to listen to me. Why? Because we need to be heard. Trans people in Ireland are being invisible, still not recognised by this state. Trans people go through their daily lives struggling with society that thinks it's okay to poke fun at us and laugh. A government that sometimes stops us from travelling, makes it difficult to apply for college. A society that makes it impossible to find and keep jobs, and now wants to break up happily married families. And all we want to do is live dignified, respectful, private lives